Hello everybody, this is Texas Danny and I'm coming to you from Saturday morning, October the 29th, 2022. And this is very key to indicate to you, this is the coastline of northern Turkey on the Black Sea, a place that I'm familiar with from my past experience. 1979, 80,000 light years out, 505. Diogenes 505, Diogenes 505. This point has moved conservatively 70 to 80 miles. It's probably really much greater than that because of the distance involved in the changes of the Earth. This is the Black Sea, Georgia off to the east, Ukraine to the north, Romania off to the west, and the Aegean, and significantly Crete, the entire Mediterranean. And this goes with, this area of concern goes all the way over to the Caspian. The Caspian used to be a more north and south, and has tilted kind of a more northwest, southeast direction, with northern Iran having a lot of declination on the southern borders of the Caspian Sea. There's been some tremendous changes that have gone through Georgia, through Turkey. Turkey's having great amounts of changes. Greece as well. Areas to be looking at are northern Macedonia, Greece itself, the entire thing, what I call the Carpathian Wheel, which also lines up with the Aegean. Changes to Italy, of course, and we have Tunisia coming up fast on Sicily. Okay, we've got the entire Mediterranean closing up. It's not half its size originally on old Earth. Again, there's a lot of quantum activity. Now, when I say that to those of you who are uninitiated or don't understand what I'm speaking of, Newtonian physics is the classical physics, mechanical understanding of man. Nuts and bolts kind of things. Nails and hammers. Basic mathematical applications, right, to understanding an analogy of understanding what the time flows and that kind of thing like that, and how much things will take place for changes. Those of us who are quantum jumpers have jumped our Earth timeline, our Earth reality, and got thrust into a different time-space Earth got thrown into a different reality, or we're on an Earth that is moving, or this is Earth altered and transformed and changed. We have a lot going on with Europe. We have a lot going on with the Geneva wave. We have Geneva as a primary interest, of course, Bern. And we just have areas closing up all the way around. Northern Scotland, which is also been missing for some time, has more changes going on. We got changes, of course, to Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Okay, our areas are closing up, and an area that is of chief concern is Greenland, because this is part of the process for the rapid transformations with the H2O being kicked up into the atmosphere. And also out into the water. It's part of the engineering process. Also on North America, Mexico is quickly losing much of her west coast. And we have the Gulf of California opening up. I want to identify quantum islands to you. These two are quantum islands. After I jumped in June 2016, these came into being and into existence and got bigger and bigger. and the Gulf of California just got bigger and bigger and bigger. My old reality, Baja California, was not as long. It's about 400 miles long and about 75 miles wide, and there was much more out here for the west coast of Mexico. But the Earth is smaller here. The Earth has changed here. Mexico is rapidly changing. We have the Yucatan moving up further into the Gulf of Mexico, headed towards Florida, which is about 2.5, 3 weeks ago experienced Hurricane Ian. And a lot is changing on the west coast of Florida and in her center areas. Florida is a very chief area of concern, needs to be looked at, but so is Cuba and the Bahamas. Cuba is gaining more shallow areas. Land is pushing up. This also pushes us out to the Barbados Tract. The Barbados Tract in northern South America, not the Bahamas, the Caribbean, northern South America. We have a lot of changes that are happening on the southern area of the Amazon. This is also coinciding with a long-established change of Peru. Used to have just like you see the shelf there, the landmass used to come out in a round pattern, and a huge basin used to engulf the Amazon. It doesn't do so anymore. Because the Andes is South America has been pushed so much further east than it was in my original timeline. We have eastern Brazil is opening up and drying out. We got changes still going on with Chile and Argentina. And these changes will go all the way back and over into the southern Atlantic, Antarctica, up into Africa. Especially very important is Africa, because you have the East African Rift opening, you have the Chad Rift opening, and you have the Sahara changing. You've already got changes on the African west coast. And the changes are coming out all the way from Area 42, Giza, going right into Chad. We've got declination and clearing issues out in Nigeria down to Lagos. We have the Gulf of Aden. We have the, also here's some other quantum islands since June of 2016, which came in. You have the Gulf of Aden, the Gulf of Arabian Gulf. You have quantum speed changes, which I see over time that's taking place in Iran and Afghanistan very, very quickly, because the Earth's movements in quantum time and strata is going into Central Asia, all right? Central Asia, mentioning, of course, the Mediterranean again, the Black Sea and the Caspian, into Central Asia. Anything with a Stan as his name is in the game. Anything that's got Stan in it, it's in the game. And our rift is going right through southern Russia, China, Lake Baikal, all the way out to Siberia, with the northern area of Russia in declination. And we've got areas such as Shanghai, which has moved considerably further north. And then you have the trench here, Marianas Trench, very, very deep but moving, right? And it's pushing up islands and stuff into the Pacific. But we also need to mention some changes. Of course, there are changes to Indonesia, Thailand, Australia. Australia is considerably further north here in this reality than it used to be. But we have, right now, we have New Zealand moving out. Now, I realize those of you who are residents are going to say this is the way it's always been. For you, if you're a resident of this timeline and this space and you're in the right place, it's where it's always been for you. For us, it's moved considerably. And we have the North Island actually heading now further, a little bit further southeast than the southern island. This peninsula that Auckland is on used to be a straight up and down right here. And this area of the northern part of the southern island has changed considerably as well. We have a lot going on with Antarctica, so much that you can't even see it or begin to speak of it. There's just so much going on with it. Just be advised that this is a big, huge clue right along with... excuse me, I'm trying to move the wrong screen. Right along with Greenland and its changes, the changes that are taking place all through here. And again, with the Mediterranean, we have it closing up. Tunisia coming up towards Sicily. The Gulf is, the Mediterranean is getting smaller. The Black Sea and the Caspian, considerable changes to Turkey. She's been, just picture her getting bigger, going up and over to the right. The same with Greece. We're coming down on a curve, at least a suggested visual curve. Whether that's happening or not, I don't know. Of course, I'm not visiting any of these places personally, but I see corresponding changes in the maps and in modern media. And that is changing. Again, our big changes coming out are the west coast of Mexico, the Gulf of California, the entire whole of the American Southwest, the entire thing, California, the West Coast, the North American West Coast, many changes through America as well. We have breakout changes in New York, running along the length of, going actually west of the Finger Lakes, going well under the Adirondacks there. Just tremendous changes everywhere. We've had changes to Manhattan and her changes there as well. So anybody taking a look might want to think of that one over. Okay, thanks for the listen. Texas Danny out. Bye.